German, for German people. So, Shalom, wir haben es geschafft. Heute ist der 5. September 2022 und unser jüdischer Bruder, our Jewish brother, Rabbi Avraham Feld, ist bei uns. Wir freuen uns riesig, dass wir es jetzt geschafft haben. Wir hoffen, wir können auch mega viel Zeit mit ihm verbringen. Und now Rabbi Avraham Feld will speak to you a few words.
Okay, a few dozen words, a few hundred words. A short lecture is 2 hours. A long is 5 hours. You know, you're dealing with Jews, man. We're like problematic when it comes to that.
Good stuff.
Okay, so welcome to Israel. We're really happy you're here. You came from so far away, and all the trouble in the airports and baggage. We had 42 stops from Egypt on the way to Israel. Do you know that?
Yes.
You guys almost had that many to get here.
Almost, yes.
And you know, Egypt is like 11 and a half days of caravan journey. It took us 40 years.
11 caravan?
11 and a half days or so, last time I tried it.
We will stay 11 days in Israel.
Yes, that's amazing. So, like, you know, but if you ever had to move a family, you had to take your kids anywhere, and all the things that delay you, you understand why it takes 40 years to get somewhere. Yeah. But we're all on our individual journeys. Everyone's on their own walks with God. And one of the exciting things of the times we're living in is that part of our family that has been lost is coming back. Mm-hmm. There's a rejuvenation. There's a reinvention and a revolution of understanding the Bible. And one of the major themes of the Bible is the reunification of the tribes, the two branches that come together. In fact, we Jews say every day and in every way, we say, stronghold of Israel, arise and to help Israel, deliver Judah and Israel, as thou hast promised. For our redemption thou set our redemption, thou art the Lord of hosts, the Holy One of Israel. Blessed be you, God, who has redeemed Israel. Sur Yisrael, kuma b'Yezras Yisrael, ubdei kumecha Yehuda b'Yisrael, go aleinu Adonai Savo Shamo, kadosh Yisrael, baruch atah Hashem. Go al Yisrael. Every single day we're praying for the reunification and the friendship of Israel and Judah and Israel. A lot of times we get Ephraimites upset because we keep calling someone Jewish when it's really he was Hebrew. Judah, the tribe of Judah didn't. The tribe of Judah is also full of 10 tribes because the destruction of the northern kingdom happened in 3 stages. So there were refugees that came south to, how do you say in English? King Hezekiah. By the way, secular left-wing archaeologists do not think that Hezekiah is just some biblical myth. They don't call him he's not only a biblical figure because of the huge amount of archaeology surrounding him. He's a historic figure. And Isaiah, so that we expanded the walls to receive these refugees. So inside present-day Judah are the 10 tribes. But also in exile with the 10 tribes were many villages of Judah, Levites that were spread out. I know you guys are into that, right? They had 49 cities of refuge. A lot of them were in the north, right? So they also went into exile with the 10 tribes and parts of Benjamin and a big part of Shimon. So it's interesting. In the lost 10 tribes are also all 12. And in the revealed tribes with the title Judah are also the 12 tribes. Yeah. So our enemies can't kill us. They kill the Jews, we still have hidden 12 tribes. The hidden 12 tribes are lost, we still have Judah. Yeah. God played all the angles there for our ultimate survival. So I wanted to say something about identity, and you see, throughout a very nice fellow, a brilliant fellow, Jonathan Sachs. I am going to quote freely from something he wrote because I love what he wrote and it works for what we want to explain. Throughout the book of Deuteronomy comes the command to remember. Remember that you were a slave in Egypt, right? Deuteronomy 5, 14, 15, 15, 16, 12, Deuteronomy 24, 22. Remember what Amalek did to you, Deuteronomy 25. Remember what God did to Miriam. Remember the days of old. Consider the generations long past. Ask your father and he will tell you, your elders and they will explain it to you, Deuteronomy 32. We have a thing called vidui bikurim, the confession on the bringing the first fruits. It's more than a confession, it is compressed into a shortest possible space, the entire history of the nation, in a summary form. In a few short sentences, we have here the patriarchal origins in Mesopotamia, the emergence of the Hebrew nations in the midst of history, rather than in a mythic prehistory, slavery in Egypt and liberation, the climatic acquisition of the land of Israel, and throughout, the acknowledge of the God as Lord of history. You know, in Hebrew, history, you change one of the letters, it means historia, so it can also be read Hesta-Yah. God's history is just God's being hidden in front of us. Hester is hidden, and Ka is one of the ways of calling God. So his presence, you know nature, the word nature? So it means to swallow. It's godliness swallowed up. And you don't, it's not, because the numerical value of Elohim, which was one of the many names for God, and HaTeva, the nature, is the same. God, we see him in Revelation in his words, and we can find God in nature, right? But he's hidden, he's swallowed up among the physical. So history hides God's presence. So we should note here that an important nuance. Hebrews were the first people to have a God of history. They were the first to think in historical terms of a time as an area of change, and as opposed to cylindrical time in which the seasons rotate, people are born and die, but nothing really changes. So the Hebrews were the first people to write history, many centuries before Herodotus and Thucydides. In biblical Hebrew, there's not an exact word for history. The closest equivalent is Divrei Hayamim, Chronicles. Instead, we use the word Zachor, remembrance, because meaning memory. It's a fundamental difference between history and memory. History is his story, an account of events that happened sometime to someone else. Memory is my story. It's the past internalized and made part of my identity. That is what the Mishnah Psachim means when it tells us each person must see themselves as if they personally got out of Egypt. You know, Egypt means constriction. So in every day, in every way, we're supposed to get better and better. Say that 20 times to yourself in the mirror. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day we have to get out of our own private Egypts, our boxes, our hang-ups. And throughout the book of Deuteronomy, Moses warns the people no less than 14 times not to forget. If they forget the past, they will lose their identity and a sense of direction, and disaster will follow. Moreover, not only are the people commanded to remember, they are commanded to hand that memory on to their kinderlach, to their children. The entire phenomenon represents a remarkable cluster of ideas about identity as a matter of collective memory, about the ritual retelling of the nation story. Above all, the fact that every one of us is a guardian of that story and memory. It is not the leader alone or some elite who are trained to recall the past. For every one of us, we're called a Mamlechet Kohanim B'Goy Kadosh, a nation of priests and a holy nation. It's not just like the cardinal, the bishop, or the pope who stands at the table. It's very democratic in that way. Mm-hmm. Our leadership, if you could become from any past, but if you master Torah and your life reflects that, you could be a giant. You can be the giant of that generation. Yeah. So our great leaders tell the story of our group, and our greatest leaders, Moses, taught the group to become a nation of storytellers. And you can see the power of these ideas today, and you can. Our covenantal narrative is always inclusive, the property of all its citizens, newcomers as well as native born. It says to everyone, regardless of class or creed, this is who you are. It creates a sense of common identity that transcends other identities, right? How many identities do we have? Many, right? Mm-hmm. So it transcends those things. By making the Israelites a nation of storytellers, repeating our history, Moses helped turn them into a people bound by collective responsibility to one another, to the past and the future, and to God. And by framing a narrative that successive generations would make their own and teach their children, Moshe also turned us into a nation of leaders. So what's happening now is that our lost part of our nation, we have lost Jews right now. But we also have Judah in captivity that have been lost for hundreds and even thousands of years. Mm-hmm. But we have our Ephraimites, our brothers and sisters, who are now waking up to their Hebrew identity. So it behooves us to thank God for that. It behooves us not to be terrified and afraid. Oh my God, they're going to overrun us. No, it's the Bible that tells us that Ephraim's returning. It's God's plan. Mm-hmm. So God doesn't have a plan to destroy Judah. Mm-hmm. If Ephraim's coming back, it's not going to destroy us. It's going to empower us and enhance us. When those two sticks unite, that's dynamite. Yeah. That's healing. That's blessing. Yeah. So a lot of us Jews, we're so used to, you know why we keep our hats on, right? Because we don't know when we're going to be chased out of the neighborhood. We're going to have to run if we keep our hats on. Mm-hmm. So we're so used to people kicking us and killing us. You know, we reach out to all different people, and we try to show what unites us in the common denominator between all people. Like I just showed you, we have things in Arabic that will show how you can interpret the Quran in a liberal or tolerant way that's inclusive, right? We're very happy with people who look at Christianity in a way that they don't need to burn anyone at the stake anymore. Mm-hmm. Just barbecue, you know, soy burgers, you don't have to do it to people. So we're into that, we're happy. But in the past, if a Jew would reach out philosophically to a Muslim, theologically, he would get his hand chopped off. Mm-hmm. And if he reached out to Christianity in a philosophical, theological, he'd get his head chopped off. So in some ways, we're in better times than we were. But here, when Ephraim is coming back, they're not going to look like Judah. Joseph, we call Joseph righteous, you know that? Mm-hmm. Because Egypt was like immoral, and he didn't partake of that immoral. A beautiful, handsome, strong young man. So he's a righteous guy. So the Torah and our sages call Joseph righteous. But when we looked at Joseph, he looked like an Egyptian pagan. And Judah did not recognize Joseph. Mm-hmm. So right now, the same thing's going to happen. That our Josephs are coming back. Our Ephraimites are coming back. And they don't look like religious Jews. But they're righteous. Mm-hmm. And we just got to give them a chance. And we should stop shivering and being terrified. Oh my goodness, they're going to ruin everything. No. First of all, we ruin things ourselves very efficiently. Second of all, they're going to ruin nothing. They're going to add. But we have our categories of how we can accept people. You know, we have a system with a mandate from the Torah to how to accept people officially. But the returning of Ephraim is a return to the greater. Let's make Israel great again. It's return to the great Israel. And just wanted to say that this group, the Society for the Heirs of Jacob, they've been treated like Jews recently for years and years because they connect to their Hebrew roots and because they've gotten rid of paganized aspects of Christianity. So their fellow countrymen and all over Europe are treating them with the passion and hatred that they had for Jews. And they're suffering like they know what anti-Semitism firsthand in the most minute aspects of their life. They've been confronted and their leader has been some people want to attack him. But you're missing the point. Those people are attacking him, that he understands God is one. That's one of the principal things to make you part a Hebrew. Abraham was a Hebrew because he understands God is one, not 2 and 1, not 6 and 1. That God is not a man, he's God, beyond our imagination. You know, if something's physical, it can be broken down into small pieces. God, so one. If something's physical, it's limited, it's finite. God's infinite. We have a verse in Deuteronomy, and he's in the heavens above and in the earth below. Something physical can't be in 2 places at once. Even though our women folk, sometimes they almost are in 2 places at once with all the things they're doing, spiritually and educationally and with home and life. So, because he and his Society for the Heirs of Jacob understand the absolute ethical monotheistic understanding of God. God is one and not 2, and there's none besides him. Because they understand that, they're treated as Jews, and people hate them and want to destroy them and sabotage them wherever they go. So those people who think this is a controversial issue, which I'm under attack for backing, but you have to understand, they understand that God is one. That makes them very Hebrew, all right? That makes them very close to the core value of Torah. So that should be respected and honored and not criticized and delusional about. You want to say something?
So when you're ready, then
our little kids say, they sing a song and they go like, God is here, God is there, God is truly everywhere. Up, up, down, down, right, left, all around, here, there, everywhere. That's where he can be found. You know, Hashem, God is one, his name is one, besides him there are none. So the little kid will say, God is here, and God is there, and God is truly everywhere. Up, up, down, down, right, left, all around, here, there, everywhere. That's where he can be found. There's no room for another God. So we congratulate you all for embracing the absolute unity of God and none others. And we thank you for coming back towards us. And we're praying for the complete, purified, don't worry, my brothers and sisters, it'll be under halacha. We don't do things outside halacha. We appreciate your support and your caring and your prayers, and that I empathize with you. You're being treated like Jews with a full force of anti-Semitism for a long time, and you stick with it. So we say in Hebrew, kol hakavod, all power to you.
Yeah. Thank you. That was
Patrick.
Awesome. Yeah, it was awesome.
Isn't Patrick an Irish name?
So because of the holy, the St. Patrick, the St. Patrick's Day. So I don't know if it's really an Irish name. I think it's
before
English. So my mother, called me Patrick,
right.
And my brother is David. Yeah, so right. King David. Yeah, so you know this, no?
But you know, Patrick seemed like he had more fun with St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, so Patrick. Yeah, so he has a drinking.
Yeah, I mean, listen, but we learned from the story of Joseph I just mentioned. Remember, there was the minister of bakery and the minister of liquor, of alcohol, and the minister of bakery got killed by the Pharaoh, And the minister who poured the drinks lived.
Yeah.
A biblical proof how important it is. A machan al-chaim, saying cheers.
Yeah, it's a commandment to drink one time in the year.
Purim.
Huh?
Purim.
Purim. Yeah. So okay, it's okay,
Every
so,
day is Purim.
So I want to say something. It's really a special and historic moment. So we can say that because we come physically together with the Ephraim story, and so I have something though that comes in my mind with you mentioned the 42. So the 42 steps in the road. So and I would like, it's very special because our Hannes, so he made the gold coin for the temple building. So we have 100. We have 100 of that, yeah, but only one is 42. So and this one is this number 42. So you can see this is the only coin on,
Oh, they're like numbered.
Yeah, so like
That's
numbered.
really cool. Everything you guys do is so beautiful. Like you guys got class. You know?
Yeah, greetings.
It's like everything is a souped up Mercedes.
Yeah, so
BMW. You know,
in design and something like that.
Design and
artistic
work.
This is the number 42. So and I would like to give this to you. For the signs that we come together, that we can the 12 Tribes Kingdom Edition in gold, so that we come together.
Who would ever thought of that? People, Ephraimites, wannabe Ephraimites, possibly to be Ephraimites, are already thinking in such solid categories. It's kind of amazing and scary and wonderful.
Yeah, so and God made maybe. Yeah, so we will find out. So this is a present and a sign. So to come together,
pass it on.
And it's very important that the tribes come together. So because it's will be the strongest connection against anti-Semitism. So because anti-Semitism means war, and when we come together and make peace, the covenant, so then it's the strongest what you can make to fight against anti-Semitism or with truth. Yeah, the truth is coming out, and
we need our tribes to come back for us to survive and to finish the history.
Yeah,
it's part of the deal.
And when the prophecy comes true, to make this real, come this to reality.
Two sticks coming together.
Very a strong historic moment. So because this is for you and for the Jewish people, and
we'll pass it to the right places.
Yeah.
Such beautiful stuff you guys do for Zion's sake.
Yeah.
12 Tribe Kingdom Edition.
With
that is so wild. It's so wild.
Yeah.
And here you have the Monday horn right here.
Yeah.
Alex horn. He's blowing the horn to bring back lost souls.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
So we have another.
So I just want to say Auf Wiedersehen. And Bruder stach sich.
So we have another one.
So thank you for your nice words. That our work is so great. I think that too. So this is an original Star 22 Now package. So you maybe know if someone is likes to sign up with us.
Yeah, whatever you guys write, we will read. Whatever you read, whatever you write, we'll investigate. If you need some tips on what you've written, we'll give it to you as well. We're not embarrassed.
So if someone signs up, he gets this beautiful identity card. So and this
that's so cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's that?
That's me.
Oh, yeah,
it's a horn.
One for President Trump there too. He's got to sign up too.
The Trump card.
He's from Mike coming back.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. So you guys can actually give out like a driver's license.
Yes.
For people who connect with the biblical ideas of
because we are a nation.
Respect the Jews and respect their history and their oral Torah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
This is the premium package.
Cool.
So
that's amazing.
In there is an ID. It's just without any words. So template.
Very cool. That's amazing.
Something. So we also have this anti-Semitism report.
You guys did this?
Yes, we did it. He is the creator.
Patrick.
He, wrote,
Patrick, you're not just drinking all the time.
No.
Huh? We write this report as a community project of the nation of Ephraim in conscious of our responsibility for God, mankind, and in the profound understanding of belonging to the progenitor Abraham and the lost tribes of Israel. So the nation of Ephraim is one of these tribes, and the realization that comes with it enables us to present and expose anti-Semitism in all its diversity. So you guys are fighting Jew hatred, and you're fighting hatred of historic biblical Judaism, and you guys are reaching out to thousands of people. All the events compiled in this report are directly related to the Bible and its fulfillment in the end times. Well, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
We're so happy when someone writes a book defending us as opposed to using it to hit us
Yeah.
or burn us.
we translated it into English.
Yeah.
Wow, that was nice of you.
The first,
'Cause
first
my
book,
German is like Yiddish, you know, it's a problem.
the first book ever anyone has is this.
That's pretty exciting.
Yes.
Wow.
And we have some people out there, so they also like to make things. So maybe you have use of this. Maybe you can just...
Oh, so this is great to give to kids too.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
It's, so you have to can turn Ephraim and Judah.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's another sign for
Like I said, we
reunification.
pray for the union of Ephraim and Judah. People say that David Ben-Gurion, why is Israel called Israel, not Judah? He said, God forbid we should give up on the return of the 10 tribes of Israel. So we know that there's an Ephraim, and we know there's going to be a reunification. We're just not hip that it might be happening now. We just might be aware that it's happening now. So it's like easier for us to teach people this than like if you're dealing with Christians who it's like speaking in Greek.
Yeah.
Right? So this is really cool. This is cool. Jewish kids will say, we're praying for Ephraim and Judah. Now we have a little necklace.
Yes.
That's very practical.
Yeah.
That's like making the Bible like real practical.
You can feel it in your hands,
like
and you'll see it in
scary,
reality.
Scary.
Yeah, that's nice.
So that's our symbol. I heard stories about the phoenix in a Jewish tradition.
Right.
And it's also a symbol.
Oh, cool. That's of revival, of resurrection.
Of resurrection. You know, of the
They
whole-
thought they killed us, but we're still here, like the phoenix.
Yes.
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 And they're trying to kill you guys.
Yeah.
And you're still here.
Because of the truth. But
Yeah.
we are here now.
Yes.
Yeah. The connection is
That's
made.
so cool.
And some
Right, there it is.
some Effie. I don't really know what this is. Maybe something for your hand. I don't know. Someone.
So someone has the courage to wear an Ephraim handband. That is so unusual.
Mm-hmm.
You think
Maybe
you
you
guys,
find
this is
someone.
a new fashion style.
That
Coming
will
to
be
you
millions
live
of
from
millions of millions.
2,700 years ago.
Yes. It's ultra historic.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Boy, it might change the world. People are going to say, what? Ephraim? Yeah, remember 10 Israel? Yeah. Well, they're back.
Yeah. They are back.
Coming back.
It's absolutely
To a
crazy.
theater near you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
To the reality near you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, we
Yeah.
pray that Judah and Israel and Judah will be redeemed speedily in our days, and it should be without afflictions and terrible upheavals. It should be in a sweet, blessed way.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen,
Bis,
genau.
okay, gut, dann stoppen wir.
Also, hast du noch?
Nein.
Hast du ausgemacht?
Nein.
Nee, hast nicht ausgemacht.
Nein.
Okay. Also ich sage ja immer, wenn es zwei Leute, if two people can make peace together, so everyone can.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Especially us.
But you know what happens when you shake hands? The Rebbe tells us, what are the 10 fingers, like the 10 statements. It's reliving the revelation at Sinai.
Mm-hmm.
Unity brings the revelation.
Okay.
That's it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Avi. Thank you so much for this
You guys can.
just
extraordinary 30 minutes. Thank you.